Hey everybody, it's Josh Ellis, the editor-in-chief of Success Magazine. It's great to be with you today. Thanks for following along as I go live. Now, personally, I'm not much of an Instagram guy, so bear with me as this is all probably a little less than polished, but with the shelter at home restrictions, I don't have the whole team around to make me not look like a fool on social media. It literally takes, like 6 or 7 college educated professionals to make me look good. So the reason I am here today though, is because it is a special occasion. Today we get to unveil our next cover for Success Magazine for the May-June issue, which will be going out to subscribers and go on sale next week. And I have the chance to be joined for this Instagram Live by our next cover guy. So let me see if I can find him. Oh, please, do we have the man,
Hey,
Jay Shetty? I see him here. Jay Shetty. It is Jay Shetty. What's going on, Jay?
Hey, it's so good to see you. You're doing great.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I need all the encouragement I can get.
You're doing fantastic. It's great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining me, and congratulations on the cover.
Thank you.
We're thrilled to have you.
I feel super grateful and humbled to be on the cover. Thank you so much. It's really special and meaningful, especially when I've been such an avid reader of the magazine for so many years. And so for me, I remember well before I started my journey, whenever I'd go online to read articles, Success was always such a prominent place to find it. So to have this honor is really a blessing for me. So thank you so much.
Well, let's not waste any more time and show this bad boy off. What do you say?
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Here we go. Slow reveal. What I'm holding up here is the unbound copy. So it's not the perfect trim or anything. I think that we've got some copies on the way to your place in LA.
I'm excited. I haven't got them yet, but I'm excited. I'll be posting as soon as I do.
They should be showing up today. So for everybody out there, if you're not familiar with Jay, first of all, where have you been? Because Jay's everywhere these days. But he's an author, a storyteller, a former monk. Jay, how do you begin to describe yourself? I mean, you live a pretty unique life, I would say.
Yeah, it's always tough, but I always come back to my mission, which is making wisdom go viral. And I'm like, that's what I do. And I employ, whether it's podcasts, whether it's now writing my first book, whether it's video on social media, I'm trying to use all of these forms of entertainment to help share an educational message. So I really believe that entertainment shifts culture. And I'm excited to see how we can use entertainment to actually create messaging and powerful thoughts and wisdom, just like you do at Success, to help share these messages across the world. And so I always come back to defining myself by my mission as opposed to my job title. And I think that that's a healthy thing that I think all of us can do. There's an incredible study that I read from Yale, and Amy Wrzniewski, a researcher at Yale, she did a study on how people named their jobs by themselves, and it changed how they felt passionate and meaningful about their jobs. So it's something now called job crafting. So that's what I'm doing a bit of.
So the cover story, which was written by one of my favorite writers for us, Cecilia Meese, it really gets into how you discovered that mission, that purpose, and the ways that it has really shaped your life ever since. And that was the framework for this issue as a whole. We used, your search for, an applied purpose to kind of encourage other people to find and pursue a side hustle. We call this issue, the theme of this issue, the side hustle issue. So would you say now is a time with so much fear, so much uncertainty out there for people to kind of zero in on their purpose, their personal mission, and how can they get started doing that?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think you're spot on. I think we're in a very unique time. We all know that. And I think that now that it's been a couple of weeks, that we all need to adjust and adapt. And so if you haven't achieved anything in the last 2 weeks, or you haven't found your passion yet, that's fine. Like, don't put that pressure on yourself. But now that things have slightly become more normalized in the sense that we've kind of got into a routine, my recommendation is that we use this time. And the crazy thing is, when we were creating this issue, we had no idea that this was going to happen in the world. And so the fact that this issue is so well timed in terms of theme, it's incredible. Because what does a side hustle require? It requires you to have time to explore something, which we have now. It requires you to be in a position where you think, I actually need another income. I need another stream of money, which people need right now. And it's also at a time when you're like, well, I could start using the skills I have that I've been hiding away for so long, or maybe I don't even know that I have. And so I look at it as a discovery of skills and strengths that you have that you didn't know, and then exploring new ideas that you never thought of. That's the starting point.
So many of your teachings, the things you talk about, write about, are rooted in sort of these timeless ideas and lessons, like way back to some of the first stories that humans were telling, right? And they're about, a lot of it is about helping people find peace. And so we're in a world of uncertainty right now. So, you know, that's what so many people are searching for, I think, is some peace. Where do you start?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the biggest challenges that we have with peace in general is that we allow the noise of the outside to come inside. And so our internal peace is disturbed by the external chaos. And when we talk about peace, whether it's from wisdom traditions or even from a scientific point of view, we realize that peace is really something that we create. It's something that we connect to. And so for me, a simple place to start is to find one activity a day that brings you joy. It could be anything from drinking your tea in the morning to reading a book to listening to a podcast or reading Success Magazine. Like, it's doing one thing a day that you know centers you, grounds you, and brings you joy. For me, it's mindfulness and meditation. So I've been leading these daily live meditations every day on Instagram Live, and we've had hundreds of thousands of people join in the last 10 days. But the point is, find one thing that brings you joy every day. I think we live our lives always trying to either take care of other people, or we're just talking about stuff, but we're not necessarily doing something that brings us life.
So originally this issue was going to be released in conjunction with the release of your debut book, Think Like a Monk. Yes. But with all the disruption, you know, the book's been delayed to September. In the meantime, I do hope people will pick up the issue, and then it will be kind of, you know, sort of an appetizer, whet the appetite for some of the really important ideas that are in the book that can help everybody's life. In a social distancing, stay-at-home world, it's probably best that we send people to where they'll be able to find the issue online beginning next Tuesday, April 7th, and not the newsstand where we would usually tell people to go. But you can pick the issue up at success.com/side hustle. You can also see the link in our bio, so just click there. Jay, I did want to ask you about the book.
Yes, please.
Tell me, you know, what went into it? What was the idea behind it, and what makes you so excited for it?
Yeah, absolutely. So the book's called Think Like a Monk, Train Your Mind for Peace and Purpose Every Day. It's interesting because right now is a time when a lot of people have the opportunity to start that process of thinking like a monk to some degree, the need of recognizing that. What I was fascinated by was, after having lived as a monk, I looked into the scientific research behind monks' brains, which show that they have the calmest, happiest brains on the planet. And I thought to myself, well, what are those practices that can help anyone and everyone, whether they're an entrepreneur, whether they're a stay-at-home dad or mom, whether they're a business person, an executive, how can we help everyone live more meaningful, purposeful lives here first, before trying to change the outside environment? And I think that's something we can so identify with right now. And the second reason I wrote the book, and what makes me so excited about it, is that I believe that as we rise out of this situation, we're going to realize the power of our own mind. And so when the book finally is released in September, I think people will be in a place to really digest it better. We will have slowed down and we will have had to have this time to actually be able to process it.
Yeah, I think this is the kind of time where you see sort of some common strength between people developing. And it's the kind of thing where when you get through it, you'll look back and you'll say, look at what I did. Look at what we all did.
Exactly.
And look at how stronger we are because of it.
That's it. That's
individually.
Exactly it.
All right. So thank you all for watching. I promised Jay we wouldn't take too much of his time.
No, it's awesome. I love it.
Jay's been rolling on the Instagram lives all the last 2 weeks. You're a machine, man.
And you're a pro. This was great. And I highly recommend it, everyone. Like, yeah, this is, you know, the work with success, the interview was brilliant. It was such an awesome team to work with. We had a great photo shoot. We had a lot of fun. Like, the process of working with success was so much fun. So everyone who supports success, keep supporting them, of course. And anyone who's new to success, support them more. And their articles are just, I'm telling you, I used to read their articles far before I even had this opportunity. So I would just like to say to anyone who's searching for motivation, searching for inspiration, and searching for practical tips, their writers are fantastic and they do a great job.
You're very kind to say it. Again, you guys can pick up the issue at success.com/side hustle. You either get a single issue in print or in digital, or pick up a subscription to the magazine. We'd love to have you do that too. Again, that's success.com/side hustle. The link is in our bio. That about does it for me. Jay, thank you so much for doing this.
Awesome. Thank you, man. And I can't wait to meet you.
All right. And thank you.
Take care.
Thanks all of you for joining along with us. Everybody have a great day.
Thanks so much.